Hi, James and Catalina. Jackie here with Enjoying Life's Journey. I had a quick question for you. I wanted to start off first by saying thank you for sharing your guys' journey and your experience through living full-time, traveling, and work camping. And so with that, that brings me to my question pertaining to work camping.
Oh, the day I break these chains, I'm bound for the life of the simple things.
More importantly, about the Sugar Beet Harvest. We'll be hitting the road later on this year and would love to start off our work camping experience at the Sugar Beet Harvest. So if you guys could give us a little rundown of the hiring process, especially being a couple, not sure if you apply individually or together, how that works, and any other advice or anything else that you guys want to share pertaining to finding work camping jobs. So again, thank you guys for sharing your journey with everybody, and I look forward to hearing from you. Bye.
Hi, Jackie.
Hi, Jackie.
Thanks for your question about work camping. So I guess we'll just jump right into it and start talking about the hiring process for the Sugar Beet Harvest. It's a little different this year than it was last year. We'll give you just be real short about how it was for us. It actually had to be all by paper application. You had to go online, fill out a request for the paper application. They mailed it out to you, then you filled it out, mailed it back. This year it's not like that. Now you can go online, you can right there on Sugar Beet Harvest, I think it's .net, it might be .com, but just Google it. It'll be the first website to show up. It has a link right there on the homepage that lets you go and apply for the position. Now, after you apply for it, a few days later, maybe a week or two, but a few days roughly later, you'll get a call from Express Personnel Services, which is the temporary service that's actually administering the hiring and everything for the Sugar Beet Harvest. Now, when they call you, they're going to do an interview, but it's a pretty light interview, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, something simple, just telling what you're doing, or if you can lift some weight. And
yeah, it's just trying to figure out if you can even possibly do the job. After that, they'll tell you a little bit about the positions there, but not a whole lot. Ask tons of questions. Don't assume just because they talk about a position and that's the one you say that you want, that's the one they're going to give to you. They're going to tell you that you're hired, but you're not necessarily hired for a job, which certain job yet. In fact, most of those decisions are going to be made by the company itself once you get up there.
Yeah, so, and how early you get there too.
Yeah, it's important to get there a little early.
The best positions, if you get earlier, you may get them.
Yeah, stuff like the Bobcat operator. You're not going to immediately be a Bobcat operator, no matter whether you have 20 years experience or not. You're going to have to show up at the harvest. You're going to have to do a test run when you're out there, see if you can handle the Bobcat to place the corrugated tubes that they have out there. And then they'll go from there on who actually gets that position. So don't just assume that because you have a lot of experience doing that and that you discuss that position with them, that's what you're actually going to be out there doing. Now, after that, if you're not really on top of things, you might have some problems with what kind of campsite you have out there, guys. So you need to make sure that you work on getting yourself where your place is going to be, where you're going to be at, and your location and everything, and know what your camp spot's going to be at. Do it as early as absolutely possible.
Yeah, and ask how far it is from the actual job.
Yeah,
sometimes it's more than a mile, or sometimes it's just across the street. That makes it even easier.
Make sure you know whether it's a full service type spot, because some of these spots, guys, are just some dirt pushed around and you're out there and they pump it with a pump truck. It's not that long, so if you end up in that kind of a place, then it's not that big of a deal, but it is nice to be in a good spot, and whether you're in a good spot or not, it's going to be determined on how quickly you tell them and get them to give you where your location's going to be. Then you're going to have this long wait period before they tell you when your start date and everything is exactly. Make sure you kind of keep in contact with them. I wouldn't say harass them. I mean, don't be over the top, but you need to be in contact with them so that you are still assured that spot, that location, because sometimes they'll kind of forget about you, and if you weren't still in the picture, maybe somebody else comes around that was a repeat person, and they're like, no, we want to be there, and they can put them there, then you can end up not getting the spot you wanted. So, and with all work camping jobs, no matter what they are, you got to know that it's super important that you guys, anybody, that you're asking lots of questions, because a lot of these work camping jobs, they're in places where, or for time periods that labor's really tight, and so they puff the jobs up a little bit, you know, and they don't necessarily tell you all the negative sides of it. So if you can, make sure you ask those and stuff. Now, do you have anything to add to all that? Maybe? Or did I just talk my ear off?
You said everything, yeah, almost. What's good when you do the second time, the same job like we are doing this year, was really way much easier. Because they have your files there, and you know, it makes...
Yeah, it went a lot quicker. They were quick about where they were assigning us and stuff. Now, kind of move on to more of your like general type questions. You know, work camping in general, where you find the jobs and whatnot. One cool site is Coolworks. That's probably my favorite one. It's probably not the most inclusive site, but it has some of the coolest jobs, so it's named correctly. I really like that one. There's several jobs on there that I would love to go do that, you know, a lot of them are all the same season, so it's not something you can just jump in there and do every single one of them in 1 year, but it's a cool website. I think it has some of the coolest job opportunities on it. Then there's work camping jobs, and that website, I kind of think that one's cool because you can also post your own personal ad that's for like what kind of jobs you're actually looking for employers to come by and see. So that's kind of a cool thing about that site. There's Work Camping News, which is probably the longest known running one from what I understand. It has the most information on work camping, but it's a paid site. You have to actually pay to get information on everything. And then there's Workers on Wheels. That's pretty cool. There's a lot of ads that you can see there too. But what you're going to find out is some of the best positions. You're not going to find out about them or even be able to apply to them until you have like references from other work campers. And what you just need to do is get out there, get your first work camping job. Some of the bigger outfits are the best ones to be at because there's a lot of people there that you can get to know and ask them about other gigs, and just network. I mean, just like any kind of job, getting, you know, the networking with people.
When I was searching online, I just would put like work camping 2016 winter or summer, and then I always came at different places and positions. But I believe the best positions that we saw was like at the job fairs at Amazon. While we were there, we saw the Adventureland that we are here, and the Chesapeake. But one more thing, that we have to make the application as soon as possible, because the best ones, they fill up pretty fast.
That's true. Very true. All right, guys, get out there, connect with people, live your big story.
Make sure you do something every single day to reduce road suck.
Peace, guys.
Peace and love.
Without you, my friend, and I tell you all about it when I see you again. We come a long way from where we began. Oh, I'll tell you all